Have you ever finished a background and then just sat there thinking, okay, now what? What comes next? We've all been there, so today I'm going to walk you through a really simple way to move your background forward to that next stage. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? My name is Tiffany Solorio. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button to join the community. If you've been around for a while, welcome back. I always love having you here. Now, today we are finally on day 12 of 20 days of creative play, and this one is all about stamping after you've already added your color, whether that's ink blending, sprays, magicals, whatever you're using. But really quick, I do want to let you know that there is a free PDF you can download. The link is in the description box, so if you want to follow along with these daily prompts, be sure to grab that. Now, I know a lot of times we create these beautiful backgrounds. I have a huge full bin of them. And then we hit that moment of, all right, what's next? It looks good, but it's definitely not finished yet. And this is where stamping after can really help move your background into that next stage. This is where you start thinking about your composition, where your focal point might go, and how you want to build on what you've already created. So instead of starting over, we're taking what we've already have and just moving it forward. So I'm going to be using this background right here. I actually made these the other day when I was playing with 49 Market's newest collection with Nuneka. Shout out to Nuneka. And they just happened to be, these backgrounds just happened to be sitting on my desk. So that's what we're going to use today. Now, as I'm looking at my background, I can see that the outside is a little more blue and the center is more tan. So I'm going to lean into that. I'm thinking I'll do most of my stamping more around the edges and leave the center area open for a focal point later. And honestly, I might not even finish this card today. This might just be me taking this background to the next stage and setting it aside again. That's part of the process too. But spoiler alert, I do finish the card and you're going to want to stay tuned. I've got a couple stamp sets here that were just already on my desk, so that's what I'm going to be using. And I'm going in with some archival ink because I don't know what I might want to do next. I might want to add more sprays, do more ink smushing, maybe bring in some oxides. So I want something that's not going to react later on. I'm just going to be building up texture. I'm going to stamp off a little bit first, then bring it onto my background. I'm kind of mirroring things on diagonally, so on each side, keeping most of the stamping towards the edges. And I'm being mindful not to overdo it. I don't want it to get too busy, too cluttered, because I still want that focal point to have space. I'm going to add a little bit of numbers, a little texture, just building things up slowly. And you'll notice I'm keeping that center area pretty open because that's where everything is going to lead later. Okay, I think that's a good stopping point for the background with the stamping. Now from here, I'm going to start building my card. I am going to be using the new 49 Market collection from Nuneka and Art House Whimsy. I'm going to pull some pieces from it. I grabbed some die cuts, some tags, and different ephemera. I'm just grabbing things that inspire me. I start layering some tags and ephemera, and then I'm going to bring in a flower as my focal point. These are laser cut. They are beautiful. You do have to be careful when pulling them out because the stems are very delicate, but it's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to stamp a little bit onto these pieces to tie everything together and make it feel cohesive. I don't want anything feeling like it's not supposed to be there. Then I'm going to add some rub-ons from the collection. You all know I love rub-ons. They are some of my favorite things to work with. These are going to add extra interest, and I also bring in some butterflies from the collection and also some printables from Art House Whimsy. The printables just fit a little better with what I'm going for. I'm also going to use some of that cello tape, which I'm obsessed with. It just adds that extra texture and detail without a lot of effort. I'm going to cut down my panel to 4 by 5.25, and then I'm going to rough up the edges a little bit. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of inking to my tags and do some light stamping on them as well. And honestly, it's these small details right here that make such a big difference. I think this is where a lot of people get stuck. Like, how do you go from a background to something that actually feels finished? And it's usually not the big things, it's these little details that really bring everything together. That's exactly why I created my Confident Art Journaling class. It's all about walking you through that process step by step so you're not guessing what comes next. If you want more details, the link is in the description box. Now, as you saw, I added some foam adhesive to the tags to pop them up and give them a little more dimension. Then I went in with some liquid glue for the flower and just played around with placement until it felt right. I ended up tucking that Art House Whimsy flower right underneath those petals, and then I added a little bit of upholstery thread underneath the butterfly for some extra texture. Now, I did struggle a bit trying to find a sentiment in my stash, but then I remembered I have my Lee & Pixcut S1, which I absolutely love, by the way. So I printed out a sheet of some faith-based quotes that I created in Canva. I went back and forth between a couple options, but I ended up choosing Jesus Loves You. Before I added that, I did go in with some white splatters using the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof in white. I added a little bit to the cap and mixed in some water to loosen it up, and then just splattered probably a little more than I needed to, like usual. But you know, I love my splatters. Hashtag splatter squad. Then I added my sentiment, and that finished the card off perfectly. And that's it. All from starting with a background that already had color on it and just taking it one step further. I didn't overthink it, I didn't start over, I just kept building in layers and focusing on those small details. And that's what really moves you past that now what stage. I hope this gave you a little inspiration to pull something out from your own stash and take it to that next step. Be sure to check out the full playlist of 20 Days of Creative Play, and I'll have everything linked down below, including all of the supplies I used, my class, the free PDF, all of it. And until next time, stay creative, my friends.